welcome to the Laughing Monkey News Show. Today, like Jake on Jake from Limbo. How are you?
Good, buddy. Good to have me. Good to see you.
Good to have you too. Back for your third time. Always happy to have you back.
Nice.
Obviously, a big fan and supporter of you guys. Didn't get you before you last month, I believe, was a single release, right, for California Demon.
Yes, it was. We went and stole a billboard illegally at this right out front of this bar that we go to a lot in Long Beach. Basically hung it up over the back and then got all of our friends and local fans to come down to this billboard at one specific time. And then we just flipped it over the top of the billboard and these big white papers, and then used a projector to commandeer the billboard, play it a couple times, and then continue on drinking. It's great.
I think the word is appropriate, but you know,
Yeah, appropriate.
I think it's the proper word.
Or
Cool video, actually.
guerrilla marketing often used too.
That is right. But luckily, I mean, it's not a huge crime world there, underworld. You're going to be worrying about the billboard borrowing world. I don't think no one's going to notice. Even you posting that now.
Yeah, I think Long Beach PD has more to worry about for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty harmless, actually. It means if you guys are doing that, you guys aren't committing crime. So probably better you guys are putting movies on billboards than causing havoc. The
Very
video,
true. But rather than burn it down.
that's right. The video, pretty awesome. Flaming guitars, good song, lot of thumbs up, a lot of positivity. I like all your videos.
Dude.
You have a very good video eye for video anyhow.
Yeah, we put the effort into the video. If you're gonna make a video, you might as well put the effort in and make it right. But I guess these days, everybody tells us that no, it's not even. There's no point in making good music videos anymore. You should just make these little tick-tard ones that are vertical format, and you just like walk at the camera singing in the middle of a crowd or whatever the hell it can be. Yeah, that would be a real shame if the art of the music video died for way of disposable content, as they're calling it. I'd be really sad about that. We definitely put effort into our videos because if you got a visual representation of the song, it would be only doing the song an injustice if the video didn't look as cool as the song sounds.
Well, I think a few things. A, you can do whatever level you want. I think you need to do what you can afford for some bands, what your skill set is, or what you have available. And if you're not doing 100%, if you have more available, if you have better skills, you're not doing it, then you're doing yourself disservice. If you're just dialing it in because you can do more, you're like, nah, this is good enough. You need to always doing your best. And for some people, best is even better because you can deliver equally on video as you do musically. I mean, the songs are great. It's a great song. But what sets you different in a lot of bands is the videos don't usually match, big production quality or the stylized look you guys do. So, and to me, it's amazing you guys have not picked up yet. I mean, you guys are like a key operation already to pick up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the old the world of the picking up the record deal thing, I think that's becoming a little bit more and more antiquated these days too. I think that most labels aren't interested in the quality or the potential of something. Maybe if you're like 14 years old and they can make you into whatever they want to make you into as basically a puppet for investment. But I think they're really largely looking for something that's already has a success that can be valued, put a number on by the exact metric of what their streams and their tick-tards are and all that kind of stuff. And then at that point, okay, maybe let's just take a chunk of their artistry and give them a percentage back with promise of making them some huge Pepsi Cola advertisement star or something like that. But I think we had a little record deal situation going on for a while. It didn't really pan out very well. The record label people weren't doing a whole lot, and it just felt like while we're doing all the work, it makes a lot more sense for us to have control of all of the different aspects of it, like when we need to change some setting on Spotify to make a waterfall release or whatever the hell it may be, so we just sort of say goodbye to that whole record deal idea, and never say never, but I would imagine that in this 2023 world, there's not a lot of use for it. Maybe distribution deal, I'm not sure.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I mean, I was just saying, like, I'm surprised someone's approached you. Not saying it would be the best deal for a band like you, because obviously I talked to a handful of musicians, and this conversation comes up quite a bit. And it seems like the best deal now for even artists that are either, you know, long in the tooth, are legendary acts, are still performing. And I love acts that are still going 40 years later too. But the point is, the model for any band that
Yeah.
have any kind of rock and roll is the older people, although longer bands have learned when they're getting their stuff back, keep it no matter what, and put your own stuff out. Whether it's the independent records, you make more money selling 1,000 records and hitting 1,000 fans than you would 100,000 fans if you control 100% of your stuff. And these are numbers that big bands have given me off the
Absolutely.
record. Like they are saying, like if I hit 1,000 people every year, they're my loyal fans. And I deliver to them a quality product and produce what they need. I'm hitting the same numbers I was hitting prior. Most of these guys are doing better numbers now that they control it. They're selling tiny amounts of records. They're independently putting it together,
Yeah,
releasing them and
absolutely.
setting them out.
And there's so many different methods of it now too. Like our friend Small Town Titans, who we toured with last year, they do really well with a Patreon style membership
Mm-hmm.
situation where they offer exclusive material, exclusive live videos of their practices, videos of them doing covers of System of a Down, all those kind of stuff. And I mean, it's just all about sort of, if as an indie artist now, just doing the diversification thing, and yeah, printing your own CDs through some company like Nationwide Disc or whatever,
Yep.
shipping them out, and then yeah, getting 100% of the profit from that. Coming up with interesting products that people might want. Like we had these dark room stills, is what we called it. Basically, it was frames taken, single still frames taken from the latest music video, but they're printed on this like transparent projector film, and each one of the prints is a one-off. You'll be the only person to ever own that frame of the music video, and it makes people feel like, oh, I've got this one special thing and nobody else in the world will have it. And just coming up with stuff like that more and more, that has real value to your fan base, just like whoever it was, George Lynch or whoever's talking to you about that kind of stuff. But yeah, totally agree
Oh
with
yeah.
them. It seems like it's a situation of the past, going to trying to send your stuff out to A&R guys and like praying for some record deal. I mean, it's gotten less and less that situation over the last 20 years for sure.
Well, actually, in regards to actually, that wasn't George Lynch, but George Lynch actually does Patreon too. So every level artist does Patreons as a side note. But that was actually Dweezil Zappa, when I spoke with him, and I do some stuff on his website, so I talk to him quite frequently. But he actually hosts a website that other artists can get on, but it's artist
Okay.
based, and the artists only really pay for their bandwidth, so they can set it up on tiers for what they cost for the amount of media they use to the income that they make. So
Gotcha.
it's like an artist built a website to help support other artists, where it's not really so much profit making on their end. It's more about, breaking even and helping other artists. It's really a cool forward way of thinking.
That's
You
great.
know.
Well, we haven't dipped our hand into uh the Patreon OnlyFans world yet, but or membership world or whatever you call it.
Well, Patreon, we
So
don't want you
I
guys doing
definitely want
only.
to
We don't
check
want you
out
doing
that.
OnlyFans. No, we don't want you guys doing OnlyFans, especially like
Well,
you and your brother. God,
I've jokingly already got the I jokingly already got the of Limbo logo done into the OnlyFans logo type style. We did this one photo shoot, joking photo shoot like a year ago, back when Rob was still in the band, of us all in the bikinis and swimwear line that we got made for last summer or whatever it was. So
that's
that gave me the
awesome.
idea. I'll make an OnlyFans logo and we'll post that with this, and that'll be funny. I haven't posted it yet, but I think maybe that'll have to be the first Patreon
Yeah,
tier subscription, is access to the full photo shoot of us being very comical in our speedos and our bikinis.
that is pretty funny. It's funny. Well, I mean, and then that actually brings up a point. You got some the members. Who are the members now? What's going on? Some changes in the band.
We've been it's interesting that the band's kind of it's not nothing's official about it, but it seems like it's sort of taking on two entities to me. We've got this Of Limbo Unplugged entity where we've been playing with our friend Jason, and Jason was in the Butcher Babies for a while. And we've been playing all these unplugged shows with him for a long time while we sort of figured out our situation. But Jason doesn't have the ability to tour the country. He's got a big boy job at the port. He's got a daughter. So that meant we needed to look elsewhere. And we found our friend Will from a band called Lace and Blue that we played with many, many times. And Will Smith has joined the band for the
Hey, you keep his wife's name
duration.
out of your mouth.
What's that?
You keep his wife's name out of your mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you don't hear that every
Luckily,
5 minutes. I'm sorry. Reflex.
no, that's good. Luckily, he's not married, but yeah, he is White Will Smith on Instagram, and that is actually his name is Will Smith. So he's joined us for this tour. We're gonna see how everything goes and see what his schedule's like for next year. But hoping the Faster Pussycat tour goes well, and we get a lot more tours next year. That would be very, very nice. And we've also got our friend Ian Joseph on drums again. But Ian's not able to make the first few shows, first 6 shows that are all the West Coast ones. So we got our buddy Sean from Graves in the Bad Weather on loan from them, and he's coming out and playing the first 6 shows. We're pumped on that. Had our first practice with him the other night. He's already got the songs pretty damn nailed. So gonna be great.
So what's it happen? I mean, you guys are a good band. I mean, obviously the core of the band anyhow is you and your brother. It's always going to be that, no matter whether you have long-term players or not. You know, that's the Australian thing, right? Yeah, it's easy. So I mean, it's always the brothers band. I think it's actually the law of your country from there. But
Yeah.
but I mean, it's that being said, I'm sure it's a group effort. For you keeping members in now, I mean, it's obviously not lack of talent or probably having fun. Is it just like location, jobs, or finding people when you do have somebody who's capable, they're already committed to another band? It's more just about the right situation and not so much about the right personalities.
I think personality definitely comes into it a lot too. But usually it's life stuff, and I mean we're not 19-year-olds at the moment, so there's a lot of juggling the things in life that you have to keep handled, like got to keep
Right.
the
Well, that's
lights
what I
on,
mean.
got to keep the got to pay the internet bill and the house over your head, roof over your head, etc. So the people make different choices at different times about that. Limbo's not making an ungodly amount of money for anybody yet, so it's really still very much choosing to do what our passion is and making it work any way we possibly can. And different people have different abilities to make it work at different times. Ian works he does drum sessions for a lot of other people. He also has gone on tours for other people, so we're happy to have him whenever he can with us. But he also, when he comes back home and he has to have downtime from drumming, he does big boy jobs selling solar, and I think Will does engineering or something like that. I make movie posters. Luke runs the bar, so it's like we all have our own little different things to keep the lights on, and it's not always easy to juggle those things, especially if you have bosses that are like, I can't lose you now, it's the busy season, or whatever the
It's
hell it
always a
is,
busy season.
so I just,
Don't ever hear. It's
yeah, it's
always a
always the
busy
busy
season.
season. Good call.
When is the
Yeah,
slow season of
exactly.
anything? I'd love to know that because that's when I want to work.
When's
I'm
it
like,
gonna
I've
get
never,
good for you for me to leave for a month and a half, boss?
yeah,
Yeah.
there's never been a slow
um
season.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we make it work as best we can. And I also feel like wouldn't want to say I'm a spiritual person, but I guess I kind of am. I think that the universe provides the right people for the right experiences for the right time for you and for them. And you know, you grow out of each other for different reasons, and people grow and move on to different paths in their lives at different times. For instance, Bear, our last bass player, he's moved on to getting married with his new wife Annabelle, and I'm sure they're going to pop out a kid at some stage pretty soon. He's doing his singer-songwriter acoustic stuff. More power to him. Yeah, wish him nothing but the best. But Yeah, it just came to a time where he didn't want to do the limbo thing anymore, and no one is deeply offended by that at all. It's just people got to make choices in their lives for the right time for them.
Then I think that's the other hard part with having some people so talented because he's also a guitar player, singer. So he was his own well-rounded musician already. So him kind of being, in a group situation when he could already be like a different type of musician, kind of already put him in a spot where, you know what I mean? The dynamic is like he's going to have to choose which
Yeah,
he wants to do more. I mean, the band's fun, but does he want to be like his own solo
yeah,
person? Not a lot of people can do that.
yeah. I think that was an aspect for him is we've only got so much time on this earth, and
Right.
he's got so many songs that he really wanted to get out of his own songs that he writes rather than, even though he likes me and Luke's songs well enough, it wasn't there are songs, and
Yeah.
he wanted to get his voice out in the world for it to live forever, and I have absolutely complete understanding in that sentiment entirely.
Well, I believe you because you guys actually support him and actually you have him singing on some of your stuff too on some of the sessions. So I mean, he's a
Yeah,
great singer.
he
So it's not like you were
does some
supportive.
backup vocals
Yeah.
and some bars. Yep.
So Faster Pussycat, this is gonna be a good tour. You know.
Yeah. Dude. I think it's the perfect kind of band for us right now. We've got a bunch of our more serious songs we could choose for this band or that band, but we haven't been out in like a year, and I think us getting a little set in of just nothing but fun party songs is going to be a blast every night.
Well, I think it's a good band, and I think the on paper you think, well, I mean, where to put you, I wouldn't even know if I had to think off the top of my head. But as I sit down, I think with the songs, and I had Tammy on finally. He's one of the persons I always want to talk to because I love the fact that every album they've done is so different, like so different, you know. And I think it
That's
gives you guys
awesome.
a variety of because their set is so mixed up. You know what I mean? When they have stuff like the easy, like the glam rock stuff, to then into the stuff that's like really
Yeah.
technical, to like really just dozy. Like they've got quite a variety of music, so that's a good audience for you because you're not trapped in having be a certain style because they're not a certain style. You know what I mean? At this point, if you're a fan of them, you're open minded. I think.
Gotcha. Well, I'll have to see what their sets like. We've never seen them live yet. I mean, I know their music obviously, but I haven't seen them live yet, so we'll have to see what their sets like, and then yeah, maybe if they are taking us into a lot of different diverse places, it might inspire us to choose a little bit more of the I don't know, more meaningful ones than "Let's Get Effed Up" or whatever party song it is. Right now, we very much catered it a fairly party heavy set. Maybe one that's a little bit more serious thrown in there,
Yeah,
but we also got to see how much time we have. If you got an hour long set, you can take people on a Pink Floyd journey of
yeah.
all kinds of stuff. But I'm not sure if we're going to get a 45 or a 30 at the moment because there is another guy that on some of them at least is going to be direct support. So we're not sure how long our set's going to be. We'll just have to play it by ear and give the people what we feel is the best possible cocktail on the night.
I'm surprised that there's a third on any tour lately because of the cost of touring and stuff to break even. An opening act always makes sense,
Yeah,
but at this point, with the way
I
finances
think
are, I'm
we're
surprised it's a weird extra additional. It's not bad for the artist because I want as many people to play. I'm not making. I'm just saying economically, knowing how hard it is for a band to tour nowadays.
yeah.
You
I
know,
think we are the third band that's being graciously tacked on to this to try and
yeah.
get us out to more audiences that will like us. Yeah, I think that those two were probably already locked in. Although I hadn't heard of the other dude being a part of it until we saw the flyer. I was like, assuming we were direct support the whole time, and then we're like, oh, okay, I guess we're not direct support. That makes much more sense about why we're not getting paid very much by the venues. Uh, but we're gonna make it work anyway. I saw how big Faster Pussycat's crowds are. I'm sure we'll sell enough merch to come close to breaking even. If not, maybe come home with $5 in our pocket each or something, and it'll all have been worthwhile either way. I
Well,
treat this as just like the greatest experience that I ever get to do. We've been getting like a couple years ago, we were getting a lot of them, a lot of tours, and it was awesome. But and that's when you start to really see actual revenue coming in. It's fucking great. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to swear. It's great. But when you get one a year, like it's been last year and this year,
Right.
it's like, okay, well, I'm really seeing this as just like my complete let loose and have a blast time.
Right.
So I'm looking at it as like the most epic month-long working holiday ever, and I'm gonna go on a tear, have a great time, and if I don't come back with thousands of dollars extra in my pocket, well, money well spent, because a month on the road playing rock and roll. I think it's 25 shows in 28 days, something like that. I'm like, okay, down.
You'll have no voice. That's why I don't want to talk to you afterwards. You'll be speaking. You'll be doing sign language.
Dude, strangely enough, it actually, the more I sing, I don't know, I've never done like multiple shows a day or anything like that. But if we do a 45er a day, and I don't have to like, if I don't have to talk all night at the bar afterwards, I'm usually better and better every day, because it like opens up stokes out the pipes, cleans out the pipes. If I go like
The
a month
singing's the
of
good part. It's the
not
talking
practicing with
afterwards.
Luke, yeah,
It's
that's what I've
hard
been
part.
told too. So,
You can be a tour
well, we
with
used to we
Faster
used to have
Pussycat for
Bear
a
we used
month.
to have Bear for that. We used to have Bear for that, which was great. Bear would just yap it up and talk to the people for hours. Me and Luke could go have a cig and a drink, and we come back and Bear was still chatting them up. It was great. But I think I might have to take over a little bit more of the chatting to the people duties afterwards now. But I'll be
Yep.
fine.
You guys got to split up, and that's important. I think. Well, the thing is, well, you can't be on tour with a band and always end up negative. But at this point, with certain bands, like this is, you don't invest in yourself. This is investing in yourself. This is like putting money out into yourself. Sometimes you can't always come out ahead. It's you're investing in the band. There's certain tours and there's certain exposure, especially nowadays, that if you don't come out ahead, it's still you're coming out ahead because it's like people go to school or go to college or buy a business and invest in a business and get a loan. It's the same thing. People don't expect, any other business to just go out and just make money. You know what I mean? Every other career you have to invest in. It costs you money. No one thinks about like
100%.
music career like that. So going on tour and not always making money is the same thing as going to college or taking a loan on some level. It doesn't look as cool or even more cool. But you know what I'm saying? It doesn't, the financial line doesn't look like
Yeah.
the same. You expect to make money, but it's not. You're still investing in yourself. You put the groundwork down to your job, and you're
Yeah.
going to see
100.
Faster Pussycat are some serious
Absolutely
dudes, about
right.
career. Tammy knows what he's doing. You got a lot of the young guns in there. Sam Bam, fantastic guitar player. I hope he's on tour with you guys then. He's fantastic. Um, Another guy,
We've
more
I
hard
think
work
I
ethic.
think we know him. I think we know him, the young guitar player. He's good friends with our buddy Gabe Maska. We met a few times at Rainbow Room. I think he was also in the band
Dorothy.
Butterside for a
Yeah, Butterside.
while. I
Yep,
don't
yep,
know if he
yep,
still is.
yeah. Butterside and
Yeah. Okay.
Dorothy.
So yeah,
The
we
same.
know that. Oh, he's also in Dorothy. Okay, awesome. Well, they were out with Joyce Wolf for a
Yeah, or he
while.
plays with them sometimes. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
nice. Well, we've had various interactions with him through mutual friends at Rainbow Room, etc. So it'll be good to make the connection with him a little bit stronger. And like you said, dude, it's absolutely put the effort and all the money into recording songs, and
Mhm.
then making great videos and all that kind of stuff. And then you're gonna say, "Oh no, I'm not gonna take this tour because the venues aren't paying me $1,000 a night." Then you're a pretty interesting person, That's a wow. The cat's just dropped something upstairs. Anyway, yeah, that'd be a pretty interesting mistake. You finally throw away the fruits of your labor, because I guess I'm really ultimately, what do I do it for? I do it for the most. I love the writing process with my brother, and I do love the sort of the satisfaction of when songs are coming together, and the whole process of the creation of it, even the video and everything like that. Although it gets tedious at some points, I do love the live playing too and the touring. But yeah, the question comes like, what are you doing it for? And if it's not for the touring juice and the having fun playing live, then yeah, I guess I know at those points, and you can just be internet band like Andrew Southworth or someone has, and you just put out all these songs and get your pennies back on Spotify, hopefully, or whatever, and you just get your juice from purely from the making of the music. But for us, it's always been very closely tied to the live playing of the music. It's like so much more of a real rock and roll thing and a real rock and roll experience when you get to play it live for people, with people, have that interaction with them, make people have a great night out, because rock and roll is supposed to be a party. You know, it's a huge aspect of it for us, at least. It's like, let's share this great experience out tonight together, people, because this moment right here is never going to happen exactly the way it did again. You can listen to a song that's recorded 100 different times, and it will be exactly the same those 100 different times on the recording. But when you go and you see it live, that might be the night that Luke fell off the stage, and then that might be the night where Jake poured beer down the front of his pants, and that might be the night that Jake took a shoey shot of tequila on stage, or
There's like it's
who
more of
knows
those
what it
nights
is.
than the other nights.
Yeah, exactly. And it's never going to happen again. So yeah, you better be there for that one experience you can.
I think that's the difference of the kind of music. I mean, if you're for the kind of music you are and the kind of fan I am, people like to invest. You could have other artists who can work from home and be independent, and there's no wrong plan, and it just depends on what works for you. Some people want to tour, some people are songwriters.
Totally.
But for artists like you know, it's a live thing. It's a life thing. You write songs and you perform because you have to. Some musicians just do it because you're like, I don't know what else I would do. I have to do it. And I've gotten to some musicians
Yeah.
at the end of their time, they're like, I don't want to do it anymore. I'm like, well, you're going to retire forever? They're like, I have no more songs in me. I'm like, yeah, but like a year later, you might have something. They're like, no, I'm empty. I'm like, you'll be back. They're like, nope. So it's possible, you know, but
That one,
to be an artist,
I find very highly improbable for a man, Luke, to be empty of songs. We got I don't know, albums worth on our phones and voice memos, etc. right now. So I don't see a day of the well running dry for even new stuff. We just sit there for 5 seconds and something new
well,
comes
I'm sure
out of
this
it.
person could
So
write songs. They just have
I
no
don't see.
desire to. You know what I mean? They feel like nothing is over
Oh, there you
inspiring
go.
them.
Okay.
There's nothing new that they could do that they
Yep.
feel would be more relevant or to put the energy to it. And the artist is Fish, actually, from former Marillion. And he's done a lot of stuff. He's gonna start
Okay.
writing books now. So I mean, but his point was he's like, there's nothing else. I'm like, come on. It's gotta be something that's like one day, like maybe an EP down the road. You can't just say no as a musician. I always think you always have something in you, like a little fire, you know?
Yeah. Totally. But I mean, I definitely could understand why you'd want to give up the live life at some point.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I saw someone talking about Mike Patton, and Mike Patton was just sort of sitting there lonesome at this massive festival, and he came up, he's like, Mike, you all right? He's like, yeah, can't believe I'm here again. And he's like, what are you talking about? Blah blah. And then after a long talk, realized that Mike Patton at the exact same field for a festival 35 years ago. If you get to be 60 years old or something and you've been doing it for 45 years, you know, since you're, I don't know how young Patton was when he joined Faith No More, but it was like 18 or something like that. Meteoric rise immediately. And then you're just touring as much as you possibly accept from that point onwards. Like, I could see how it would get old.
And with him, his is just mental health too, like a lot of ours at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, he does a lot of different stuff. He's a really smart guy. He's a really kind-hearted, sensitive guy. And I think,
Yeah.
you know, there's like people that can be salespeople and not be salespeople, and like can go on and sell and schmooze all day long, and then they're fine. Like if I did that at the end of my day,
Yeah.
I'm just bankrupt. I would want to be like in a new career. I'm just depressed. So I'm not saying that's what he is, but I'm saying some people are so different. They can tour forever because they're that kind of person where they can turn it on and everything just kind of goes off of them. And some people are so involved in stuff that it's a lot, and or in between.
Yeah.
So I think that also affects a person when they're touring all the time because some people are built for it and some people aren't. You know?
Yeah. I think he's got a bit of a disdain for it as well. That like even from the early days that you could see.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen any other musician enter a festival stage just eating a burger as the band's starting playing. He's just munching on a burger and then eventually sort of finishes it, licks his lips, and starts singing. It's like incredible stuff, dude. I love Mike Patton. I think he's just one of the greatest that's ever done it. I love his toot about it. I love everything, even though it's very different than my attitude about it might have been. I still love his.
Well, that's what makes him special. He can sing in different languages. He's like one of the smartest. He's so smart too. He plays a billion different bands and projects, and he's just a musically he's probably a good genius. I mean, musically too. He's just so talented.
Yeah.
But a little different. And with you guys, you're our live band. You play a rock and roll band, a little different than what he is. Because they have more of a different type of style of music too. I think. I can see you guys going on, and I think it's just more about you guys are right in the cusp. It's just really about at this point now, locking it in, just finding the pace now to keep, a steady rev. Now that COVID's gone, and there's more ways of revenue. You guys can do your OnlyFans, and you guys can do your Patreons. And if you guys actually make an album, I just want to throw up every time I hear you. Every time I think about you doing OnlyFans, I kind of throw up a little bit in my mouth.
That's awesome. Yeah, OnlyFans and maybe I'll sell my panties, my used panties somewhere.
Stop.
What?
It's a blur over the screen when you say that. No, they can still hear it, just be a blur just thinking about it visually. I think that I think the next phase for you guys is to figure out how to do your own albums. Just be your own distributor and get that locked in house. And put your stuff out.
We're in this. We're in this program right now called Indiepreneur, which is one that Small Town Titans got connected with a long time ago, and it's really helped them just make themselves their own operation. And I think we're learning how to do more and more stuff with that. Luke learned a lot from Andrew Southworth about how to get our music out there, music marketing, basically doing what a record label would do for you, but doing it for yourself and having a lot more passion because it's your own project, and not having to do it for 20 other bands like some marketing intern might be doing, and never knowing how much you're getting pushed by this record label or the pimple-faced intern that just joined the job. You know exactly what you're putting in, you know exactly what you're getting out. You can see the metrics, see the data now. And I feel like it takes out a lot of the guesswork, and it really shows, okay, now I can actually see what the growth is of the band. I can see how many t-shirts we're selling. I can see how many new OnlyFans members signups we have, all the rest of it.
So gross.
So I think it's actually in a good place right now. I feel like we are on the cusp of making a real revolution, or not revolution, but a real change in our career as far as taking another step with it and making it a successful small business.
I think you are. And I mean, that's what it comes down to is, as far as that, and because you do everything else yourselves, and clearly there's an audience for it. You've shown that you can do every level of it. It's just more about where can you go with it to keep it going now, And you gotta just become your own business and new music.
Totally. Well, luckily we got new music coming. There's never any shortage of that from us. We're gonna put out. I'm hoping while I'm on the road and I can sit in the van and do diddly squat between show to show. I'll sit there with a little laptop and I'll edit a few of our older videos and get those out for the rest of the year. Then early next year, we recorded a new 5-song EP with Mike Pepe. So we should be able to get some of those Waterfall released early towards in the year, towards spring. And then with Lord Baby Jesus's approval, we will get more tours.
I gotta say, as a fan, I wish there was more music you guys had out.
Yeah. Well, there will be more and more coming.
I mean, I just feel like I wish there's just more than because the Waterfall thing. So from some of my generation, I'm like, I would just love to hear an album, and then have you work the album.
It will be an album. It will just be like you have to hear each song one, or you can just wait till the whole Waterfall thing finishes.
Yeah, in 2028, you'll have the full album out, right?
I don't think it's gonna be a full album, but it'll be like. Yeah, exactly. It'll be 6 songs, and you just have to hear them one by one until all 6 are out, and then you can listen to all 6 forever.
Yeah, but before this song, when was your last single? Takes forever.
Oh yeah, we definitely had a long gap before between these ones. It was California Demon, it was Let's Go, and I think they were recorded in the same studio session with Mike Pepe, like got to be 2 years ago now. So yeah, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right, dude. And there's other ones from that session that we haven't even released yet. We're gonna get faster at it. I think California Demon video was the most extravagant video we'll probably ever do. I think from here on out, we're probably going to moderately reluctantly embrace the world of I don't want to say disposable content, but instead of making these gigantic, grandiose blockbuster videos, we might make smaller snippets of just simpler videos like we see is so successful for a lot of other bands. And that way we might be able to pump out more and more music and not have to concentrate on having full videos all the time. But I guess I'll have to talk with our buddy Ed Bunker about that and see what his thoughts on how he can even promote stuff like that. But I just see it happening more and more in the future. Is all these gurus are saying, yeah, the music video is dying, and sure, make a music video if you want to, but don't put so much time into it that it's delaying your ability to pump out more and more content of other stuff, because it's a volume game these days. And if you're reducing your volume for quality, you're doing yourself a disservice.
On some level, yes. But I think once if you have enough material out, you can kind of do that every once in a while. Lyric videos do really well. I've actually made some for some people on different levels because even if you do a lyric video for every song, because if you're on YouTube, and I actually started doing YouTube music recently, you can hear it all together. So it just allows you more music to hear from an artist. And that's what it comes down to. I'm not always watching it. YouTube music, it's just all quality music. High quality. So it's just you're still listening to music.
Yeah, I
Gives
feel
you more
like
functionality.
I feel like the lyric video era has kind of passed, and if you're putting out a lyric video to a song, then you really are doing the song a disservice, in my opinion. I feel like it'd be better for me to sit here and do a Zoom video right now where I'm just literally mouthing the words than to have a lyric video in this
Really?
day and age. Yeah. I think the lyric video was kind of a way before to avoid even the effort of having to make like a little TikTok video, just a way to get the music out there without having to do a proper budgeted video, and there was no sort of in between ground. Well, now there's so much of a in between ground of just these walking at the camera, or you're skateboarding down the street and you're holding your cell phone singing at it. And although I think all that stuff's like really cheesy, there's hopefully ways that we can find to do it limbo style that are a little bit more gratifying than that, but are still easy, quick release content for us. Anyway, that's me just giving you a
No. I can see your point, but I think arguably though, I think that the other part is like a lot of people just like lyric videos, where they, what I mean,
yeah.
and they can say the same thing about putting that money into a video. Like I like your video, but other people that don't get that kind of music be like, I'm just happy seeing the lyrics in the background of a song I like, so I know the words and I can listen to it.
Yeah.
That's the whole goal. Is I'm listening to music. The lyrics are fine. It's another way to affordably release a single in a video age when YouTube is dominant.
Yeah,
Plus, the
totally.
band gets money off of that streaming of it. I've seen bands. I mean, look at any band that got 500,000 streams on a lyric video. You gonna turn that money away?
Yeah.
That press away? That's more than most bands have. I mean, how much
Yeah, and
cheaper is
honestly,
that?
you're not wrong, because it is also potentially another way of milking it. Like you, let's say you're Avenged Sevenfold, you put out a lyric video the moment the single drops on Spotify or whatever, and then let's say a month later you put out the music video for it. You're going to gain X amount of streams
For
on your
everything.
lyric video release of it, and then that's not necessarily going to take away how many streams that you're going to get for your music video of it. It might be just resurgence of both.
Yeah,
No, you're
people
not.
like to know the lyrics. I mean, I'm saying
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like it's a bad thing. I'm just telling you. I think maybe looked at it a little bit from a fan's point of view. It's not considered lazy. It's just another way that most people can appreciate it, and it's more affordable.
totally. I think I'm just listening to too much guru talk about it all
I'm
now.
the gurus.
Like,
I'm telling you.
no, Yeah, I listen to many of them yapping in my ear, and most of them will give sound advice, but they're not always right about everything. And I definitely after thinking about the lyric video idea with you here, for the right band at the right time, there's definitely a place for it.
I've started doing them for other bands just 'cause I like them so much. I think it's a great idea. And I've put my effort in to help
Yeah,
other bands do it too because I like it and I think it's a great middle ground. You know, I love a good rock
yeah,
video, but not everyone can afford that. You know, and
yeah,
it's more important to have the music out there. And I'd rather have an album out with 3 lyric videos than have one great video and have an EP from you guys every 3 years because I can listen to a
yeah.
whole album
Don't worry about that. We'll get faster with it. I promise you, Sean.
because that's probably the more negative thing. Like to me, my only bummer with you guys is there's not enough material. Like if I listen to you guys because you have so many singles out, need more because you filter
Yeah,
to it too much. You need more material so I don't get burned out. You know what I mean? That's the only
yeah.
thing with you guys are.
I think we need to get into. I think as we get more and more into the Limbo OnlyFans world, the Patreon world, etc., we'll come into a situation where we have a set of obligations to deliver every month, and I think once we have that kind of structure, it will probably lead to more of a 10 songs a year kind of situation where, okay, you know that on this date of this day of this month, every month, oh, it's a new Limbo song day, new Limbo song day, new Limbo song day, and new Limbo video day, and new Limbo Luke shredding the whatever Steve Vai solo has been voted for by the members last week. I think that's probably where things are headed. And as things head to there, we'll get a little bit more in a good place and our heads around the idea of having to consistently release stuff rather than whatever will-nil schedule our current lives and our current whims decide. Because I've definitely heard that from a million other people too, Sean, is like, we've got to release stuff faster, we got to release more. Yeah, I want to, because we have that
Just
many
more music.
songs
It's
in
not even
us.
anything else. It's just literally just about more music. You say you got the music. I'm like, well, release some songs because that's what people like. That's what it's really about. It's just some music. When it really
Yeah,
comes down to it, it's just. And if there's
yeah,
only a handful of songs that they're listening to, you know, just less to listen to.
yeah, totally. I,
And it's a good
I don't even
problem.
know
People
how
want
many
to hear
songs we
you.
have. I don't know how many songs we even have on Spotify right now. What is it, like 20, or is it less? Probably less.
Probably less. I don't really listen to Spotify. Probably on iTunes, maybe less. And actually,
Yeah.
I just dropped my membership from iTunes, so now I listen to. I'm trying YouTube music, which is nice. I'm
Uh-huh.
saying because it crosses over. It also ties in unreleased things that are just videos, so it gives me a bigger span of professional, high quality with other stuff. It gets to tap into it more. I like that
Very cool. I've actually
because
never
I'm
really
always
listened
looking for
to
more.
YouTube music. I've only, I mean, I know of it obviously, but if I go to YouTube, I'm just listening. I'm watching videos usually, watching
Well,
or
I didn't
listening.
either, but I pay for it. I pay for the. I hate commercials. I hate commercials. So I pay for
So
the
do I.
premium.
I pay for the YouTube Pro thing just so I can
Yeah,
put it on in the background when I'm listening
yeah.
to podcasts or whatever. And
Which is what I do, and that's why I kept
yeah,
seeing the YouTube music. And I clicked on it the other day, and I'm like, this is fantastic. I keep trying to find something different in it. I'm like, and the list that is showing up, the way it ties and everything. I'm like, I went in right a day or two later. I dropped my iTunes. I'm gonna say I'm just gonna focus on this for a while and see how it goes. I literally just signed up for like started using it a few days ago because I'm
very
looking. I'm
cool. All
always
right.
looking for more music, and at least it gives
Yeah.
me a few more of your songs in there.
All right.
You were
Cool.
one
I'll
of the
have
bands
to
I
do.
tested out. I think it's just, and that's where lyric videos come in. There's a crossover in the YouTube world, YouTube music, and more content once again, which is just more songs. Because I'm at work listening, I'm not watching videos. You know, I like to. Also, was it a good guitar you guys lit on fire? Because it's kind of breaking my heart.
Oh, great.
You
Yeah,
swapped it
great
out with a
question.
crappy guitar, right?
Yeah, great question. So we definitely were not going to light one of his babies on fire. We literally went to Facebook Marketplace and found the cheapest,
Nice.
roughly Ibanez looking guitar we could find. But when you looked at it, actually in the photos, it was like white with cheesy like barbed wired roses and stuff like that. It looked like it was a Kmart guitar for like a 7-year-old's first guitar that they're given on Christmas, And we didn't even try playing it at all. It was just clearly a POS. I think we got it for $30 from a guy in a Chipotle parking lot, and
That doesn't seem
brought it
sketchy.
home. No, definitely always pretty sketchy, but he was more scared of us than we were of him. We pulled up in our band van that looks pretty yeah, pretty child
Yeah.
abductor-ish. So I think he was more afraid of us than we
Free
were of
hugs on
him.
a
And
sign.
we yeah,
No
exactly.
free
It was
hugs.
just like
Yeah.
paint's chipping off it. Yeah, free hugs or free candy inside. Yeah. Pretty sketchy looking. We brought it back home, chopped the strings off it, got some matte black spray paint from one of those Hobby Lobby kind of stores, whatever. Spray painted that bad boy matte black one day, let it dry out, and then after it dried out, we got the lighter fluid and a bunch of the flame retardant spray so it wouldn't like burn away at it too much. Lighter fluid, did a few tests, boom, and eventually we're gonna auction it off to people that do become members, or maybe not even auction it, maybe just like a giveaway to people that do become members of the new thing. So hopefully you sign up in there, Sean. You can maybe win the raffle.
I'm all set for good times.
It's pretty cool though, dude. It's like it's still got all the burn marks in it, the bubbled burnt of the paint and everything. It's pretty rad.
I just got rid of enough guitar parts from other projects I've done. You ever tried doing the paint dip when you do the swirl? You know, you take the
No,
paint and you
never.
do yeah. It's like the certain chemical keep it floating, and you put all the paint in, you make a swirl dip. You know the swirl guitars? If you slowly stick it in, you
Okay.
turn it, it does like a swirl pattern. I've done that. I had it, so
Yeah,
I had
gotcha.
the guitar parts being broken out. I cleared a bunch of stuff out. I'm like, I am slimmed down to only working guitars in my life now. Few, because I tell you, that's one
Okay. All
one
right.
raffle
Well,
I'm gonna
then we
step out
won't
from.
then we won't have you at the raffle.
That's the one. Everything else I'm all good
All
for.
right. Well, we'll save it for the people that really need this bad boy in their lives.
I think there's a lot of people that look good in their walls too. That would not be divorce court like me if I put more guitars up. So I'm running out of walls and places. I got nowhere to hide it. Like people have no place for bodies to hide. This is awesome. People check you out. The link will be below. Faster Pussycat tour. And
Hell yeah.
good luck on tonight's show. Glad we
Yeah.
chatted.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, dude.
Very
Thanks
cool.
for having me, man. Good to talk to you, Sean.